Okay. So you've made it to the last panel of the day, right, Ophia? Last panel of the day. So you guys are going to really enjoy, we say the best for last for all of you, and I'm happy to have you guys here with us today. My name's Sharon, and I'm here to talk to you about something that's very interesting and trending today. So as you know, the industry is constantly changing. Marketing is evolving, gaming is expanding, privacy is challenging. And with changes and evolving economies come out new opportunities. And what we're here to discuss is a very trending opportunity in industry of creators and influencers. So first I'm going to let the panel introduce themselves. So they're going to say who they are, where they come from, and how their company touches on the creator and the influencer world.
Does this work? Hi, I'm Ronnie Laufer. I'm VP Business and Corporate Development in Lightricks. And I think maybe we'll introduce and then I can speak hours about what Lightricks is doing.
Hi, I'm Shaul Olmert, co-founder and CEO of Piggy. We are a mobile app that enables people to create and publish content.
Hello. First of all, glad to see you all here. It's 3 p.m., just like Sharon said. It's tough, I understand, but we'll try to make your time worth it. So my name is Sofia Litvak. I'm coming from Plarium. I've been doing influencer marketing for about 5 years at Plarium and overall 8.5 years there. Plarium is actually celebrating this month 13 years, bar mitzvah, we can say. We're making games. We have over 435 million players across the globe with diversified portfolio of over 20 titles in different genres, hit titles like Vikings War of Clans and strategy games, Lost Islands and casual games, Mech Arena is a PvP shooter, and of course Raid Shadow Legends, which is an RPG, collection RPG, top grossing RPG in the United States. If any of you watch YouTube, you probably heard of us. Okay, so we'll talk about that later. Yay, Plarium is here.
And she made me download this game
I
last
made
night.
it. Not through my link though, which is bad. But
So, hi everyone, I'm Yoav Hornung. I'm director of creative verticals at Fiverr. So, I guess you all know, most of you know Fiverr. We connect businesses with freelancers that can provide what they need. So I manage the domains around creative services, from video, animation, music, audio, design, and so on. And I guess we'll talk about creator economy soon.
So, sorry, now I feel bad that I didn't say what Lightricks is doing, just assuming everybody knows. Lightricks has been around for about 9 years. We used to be known for being a powerhouse for photo and video editing apps. We have over 600 million installs and 30 million monthly active users. And recently we're now growing into a creator platform, helping creators from content creation to monetizations, which I will elaborate on later.
Thank you. and we saved the best for last, though, Sophia, the best subject for last in the panel. So my name's Sharon. I'm client partner, Facebook Gaming at Meta. I'm also still getting used to the Meta part. And creators and influencers is also a core of what we do. If you look at Instagram and at Reels, we really aim to give a platform for creators and for influencers to really reach their audience and share their likes and what they like to do and to influence decision-making when it comes to what people buy and try out themselves. So before we dig into the details, I remember when influencers and creators started trending, and I remember Googling creator versus influencer because I had no clue. I thought it was the same thing. And we have a wide variety of members in this audience, and I'm sure that not everyone here actually understands the difference between a creator and an influencer and the different types of influencers. So, Shaul, you have vast experience in this world for many years as an entrepreneur. Do you want to take this?
Sure. So serving as dictionary, I'll just preface and say that probably the number of answers you're going to get is equal at least to the number of people you're going to ask. These are not really predefined terms. But generally speaking, an influencer is a term used to describe an individual or organization that are regarded as subject matter experts and have vast following. So they can actually make an impact. When they say something or when they promote something, a lot of people listen and potentially follow. Creators, more specifically, are those that actually create, that actually, I don't know what's a synonym for create because you can't define a word with the same verb, right? So people that generate original content in the form, it can be textual, video, or imagery, or whatever it is, but they're actually, as opposed to, for instance, Donald Trump is an influencer, or he used to be an influencer before he got blocked from Twitter. But he had vast influence over a lot of people, but he wasn't creating anything. As opposed to him, we all follow many creators on many platforms like TikTok or Instagram that actually invest in generating original content. And we'll talk about the creators economy, which is the stage of monetization, of enabling them to turn their hobby or their area of expertise into an actual monetization channel.
Thank you. Yeah, definitely. So creators, economy, influencers, all of this has really been trending, especially since the onset of COVID, where it's actually been searched 750% more on Google, creators. So it's really taken off since Corona. Now, where do you see this industry headed 5 years from now, 10 years away? Do you think it's going away? Do you think it's staying? Want to take this?
Yeah, sure. So I think I've read recently an article that said that 30% of high school students in the US and the UK want to be YouTubers when they grow up. And 50 million people across the web are defining themselves as creators now. So I don't have a crystal ball, I don't know where it's heading, but I can tell you that what we see from our users, it's definitely a trend, and there is a shift in the content that they create. So we've surveyed our user all the time, and we saw that in the past, our users said that we use your apps for recreational purposes. We take photos and we just edit them and post them on, social networks or send them to our family. And in a recent survey that we did, we learned that 30% of our users are actually using our apps to monetize their content. So they're creating content to make money. 56% said that they want to be connected to brands to make money. And 70 said that they are trying to increase their number of followers. So it's a change that we've seen in our users' behavior, and it's a change that is happening worldwide. I think advertisers are realizing that the old methods of advertising, like the above the line, which we all learned, in university, is not that efficient. So the way people consume, and I can testify myself, is by seeing people who they think they're authentic, and watching what they sell and going and buying it and consuming the product that they see on social media. So the creator economy, I think, is only going to grow because marketing is changing and the way we're consuming and buying products is changing. So the way we advertise has to change.
So from our end, a lot of our buyers, most of them are small, medium businesses. And I think I don't know about you guys, but when I think of an influencer, or at least when I used to think about an influencer, I used to imagine all those celebrities or what's considered mega influencer. And the truth is, there are many creators that can influence maybe smaller niches in different industries and different geos, which are called micro and nano influencers. And Sharon, you asked about 5 years from now. I feel that today, small, medium businesses who want to really tap into the world of getting authentic ways to advertise themselves through different creators in their niches don't have a good solution for that. We are working on being a solution for that, but there's still a lot of things to do in order to really satisfy the small, medium businesses who you all know is a growing market. So I think 5 years from now, I think there will be a lot more solutions for things like that. I also think that there will be also a shift, and we're starting to see it. A couple of years ago, Lyft created an Oscar-level type of short animated film. And I think also companies themselves will try to really become content creators in a way that will kind of amplify other efforts that they're working on.
I agree. We definitely see many more influencers, and in Meta, we do believe that this is something that's just going to continue growing, and we've also made this a focus moving forward. So what we've realized is these influencers and creators, they're opening opportunity for product technologies to also adapt their existing product or to grow out of the opportunities that exist today with creators and with influencers. And you guys touched on it a little bit about the things that you're seeing, but I'd love to hear more about how you're adapting your product to the current challenges and opportunities that exist today.
I feel like I'm hijacking this discussion, but so as I said, a year ago, Lightricks was all about photo and video editing apps. We were like a tool maker. That's who we were. And then we realized, okay, our users are using our apps to do something else than what we thought, or what we thought they will do when we created those apps. So why not help them in their new journey and in their new intent of using our products? So we now created a whole new vertical in Lightricks, which is called Creator Services, where we are offering our creators the opportunity to grow their audience and engage with them and make money. We bought a company it's called Popular Pays, which is connecting brands to creators. So in our apps, when somebody will edit a photo or a video, let's say somebody will edit a photo of themselves wearing red lipstick, they will get a pop-up saying, oh, by the way, L'Oreal is looking for 50 influencers for their new red lipstick. Do you want to apply? Click here. So we're actually changing our products to make sure that not only people come to edit photos, but they can actually make money out of doing that. So that's something that we're doing.
Me again. So Fiverr's product didn't really change because of the influencer phenomena, but what we do see, and I guess we call them influencers, but they're also businesses, right? They're small, medium businesses. Some of them are bigger businesses, and the fact is that in order to, if you ask some content creators about some tips and what's important to really keep going and grow your audience, is really just keep doing and keep creating. And if the content is good, so you'll get more followers. And we are seeing a lot of influencers using different services to help them maintain the cadence of content that they need to create. And I think another really interesting angle, which is I think on somewhere between an influencer and a creator, is all the world of streamers. We saw a huge increase in the past few years in Twitch-related searches and Twitch-related services, and all those streamers needing to spice up their channels with merchandise and things like that. So we're basically just offering them more complete, suite of services that they need to grow as a business.
Okay, so there's many different types of influencers and creators. A lot of people putting themselves out there authentically, trying to share things they've created or interests, their lifestyle, and there's such a wide variety out there. Everyone wants to be a star. Everyone wants to show their authentic self and be accepted by everyone. But what really makes, if you're looking from the creator side of things, what makes for a good creator?
I want to take that from a different angle. I'll say that I think we are kind of used to try and find hacks to how to be more popular. And this is really the wrong type of thinking. I'll give an example, actually, not from the creator's landscape, but from another ecosystem. In order to get, a few years ago, the only way to discover content was to search for it on Google. So everybody tried to master the art of search engine optimization, how to get more prominent placement on Google search results. And the tips you would get are stuff like create short paragraphs, use a lot of headlines, do a lot of things to restructure your content so it's more friendly for the search engine and it's more likely to get you traffic. But in exchange, you are really sacrificing your content integrity. And for the long run, even those ecosystems like Google or like Meta or like others, they are trying to, they are looking at the actual engagement people have with content. So if you follow those hacks, for the short run, you will get a little bit higher placement, you will get a little bit more traffic. But for the long run, you are really sacrificing your content, and your content is not as good as it should be or it can be, and then you will actually lose your audience. And as much as it sounds like a simple cliche, I would say, if you want to be a good influencer, just focus on creating the best possible content. And I know it sounds trivial, but it isn't, because the majority of what I see influencers are focused on is on how to get, whatever. There are all those tips like make sure you have a little sound clip every 45 seconds. So again, they're changing everything. And the same applies to monetization. You know, I'm not as enthusiastic as Ronnie is about the monetization channel because I think it kills the authentic nature of influencer marketing. And for the long run, you know, people follow those influencers because they look genuine. They look like everyday people that are just really good cooks. And it kind of helps if they, you know, if they're also not ugly. And they're sitting in their kitchen and they're teaching you how to cook something and it's really exciting and you feel like, wow, if they're doing it in their own kitchen, I can do it too. But then if everything's sponsored and all of the ingredients they use, you know, are ingredients from companies that paid for it, for the long run, you kind of lose interest in the content. So that's, you know, I think there's, you know, say what you will about above the line marketing, old media. I think there's a good church and state separation between content and marketing that doesn't exist on the internet, at least not as regulated. And I think that what I see is that all those platforms are trying to blur those lines and kind of take advantage of the authentic nature of the uncharted territory of something being not professionally produced in order to make the advertising look more authentic. For the long run, it will just, instead of making the advertising better, it will kill the content.
So that actually takes me to a question. So where's the balance? If on one hand we're saying, you know, you want to be authentic, you want to share things and be someone that people can touch on and connect with, right? But on the other hand, most of these creators and these influencers, they want to make money, right? So, and many of these people, they're not business people, right? They're people like all of us in the room, simple people, and they, at the end of the day, they need to find that balance between being their authentic self and making money off of it. So what would you say is maybe the right balance, or what would you say the obstacles that they face here? Because there's many obstacles as well, right, with policies and things like that. So how do they manage these obstacles?
Me again? I will say that, look, it's an art more than a science. And we all, you know, everyone needs to find the right balance and kind of maintain that perfect ratio. I don't have a recipe for that. I will say is that, you know, what I will say is if you create great content and you have some following, then those eyeballs can be translated into monetization by virtue of having their attention. This is how, when I worked for MTV Networks, which is the older people in the room remember there used to be a channel called MTV, and it was rather popular back in the day. So when I worked for MTV in New York, we looked at our advertising as part of our programming, meaning that sometimes advertisers would give us their professionally produced commercial, and we would reject it. We would say, listen, this wouldn't resonate with our audience. You know, we're not going to take your money unless you reproduce it, which we're happy to do for you for a certain fee. In order for it to be in compliance with the audience, to be part of the programming. So advertising can be smart, advertising can be professional and tailored, but it was still very clear what is programming and what is advertising. And I feel that on these platforms, the blurring of these lines serve everybody's purpose for the short term, because suddenly non-professional users that are not business entities can start making money. But for the long run, you know, they're losing their audience trust, and therefore they will, you know, they will not be able to advertise or monetize in any other way.
So I clearly disagree with Shaul, but I think we need to talk about like the reality. So creators make money in two ways, either by collaborating with brands or directly via their fans. So there are many platforms that allow creators that doesn't want to commercialize themselves charge directly from their fans for pure content. There is Cameo, there's OnlyFans, you know, there's Patreon. There's a lot of platforms, and now also the big platforms started to help creators make money from subscriptions. So they don't have to rely on connections to brands. But the reality of today is that when you survey creators and you see their source of income, 72% comes from connection to brands, and about 28% comes from, you know, directly reaching out to their fans. So creators can choose either to make money from, you know, sponsoring products, or from starting communities that will pay them, and then you don't have to have that vast, you know, bombarding of like products on your feed, and you can just start a group and charge money for direct interaction with fans. And I think it's important to support both, because it's up to the creator how he wants to make money. I don't determine that for him. So I'm offering ways via brands, so that Sophie can reach out to my creators and offer them money to make a living. But I'm also offering them a link in bio so they can start communities and charge directly from their fans. I don't think I know better than the creators how to make a living, and I don't think I know better than brands. So I think it's important to offer all the opportunities for creators.
Yeah, I have to agree. I see even companies as large as ours, right, at Meta, releasing and evolving its products in order to help the creators and the influencers, because they understand that this is where the future is. I mean, we just released, I think it was even just a couple of days ago, a marketplace, creators marketplace, to connect the creators to the brands, and we're not monetizing off of it, and we're trying to really give them a platform. I believe we're even letting their groups see them on Facebook without, I mean, there's really incredible innovations that a lot of companies are taking because they understand that creators and influencers are here to stay, and they want to try to help them stay authentic and not lose their following as a skill. So I think it's a balance that no one's figured out yet at all. If anyone has, then you're going to be a millionaire. So whoever has the idea in their head right now is let's talk. But it'll happen. I think over the years as we learn, we'll be able to find that right balance. Now, if we talk about the collaborations between companies and influencers, let's talk from the company side of things. So what type of companies use influencers and creators? How do they find influencers and creators? Sophia?
I take this one. Yeah, okay, so now that we move on to really the company side of things, I have some input. First of all, let's consider like the basic four, I'd say. The first one for us, in order for us to choose the right influencer, we first very thoroughly work with our research team, because we want to understand, even before the game goes live, who is our target audience, not only gender, age, but also, of course, interests. And specifically, even if we're like so big on YouTube, and I'm talking like 500 to 600 influencers on a monthly basis, so we want to know what are the influencers they follow and love, what are the categories, or like just in general, what are the interests that they have, because we want to know where they learn about new games. And then when we get a list of influencers we want to approach, we'll choose the ones that are the most relevant for us, where the overlap of interest is high, the overlap of the target audience. The second thing to consider is, of course, the brand safety. It's very important for such big brands like we are, because whenever you sponsor a video, it's not just like you have the 60 to 90 seconds integrations, that's it, you forget about it. No, it's much more than that. But because just by sponsoring somebody, you basically say, in a sense, that you're like you stand by what this influencer stands for. And so we have to be very cautious, because influencers, some of them are known for their behaviors, so to say, and you have to make really deep analysis, especially if it's a big influencer, and this can become like a big wave. The third thing to consider is that we no longer look at the following. I understand that that's what a lot of people still look at, but very often you'll find yourself focusing more on the views and on engagement rate. Engagement rate is super important, because you want to see those users actually interact with the content. They want to leave likes, they want to leave comments. That actually proves that there is certain trust with this influencer. And whenever he reimburses your product, it serves as social proof for your product. Like, this endorsement will actually work. And I'd say that the last thing, it's kind of a logical one for us, because we treat influencer marketing as performance marketing, is value for the money. Because very often influencers start very strong. Let's say several years ago, he had like a viral video, he has many views, many followers, but now you look at the videos he's posted lately, 25K views. So whenever he gives you a price for the integration, it might be overpriced. You have to really make sure that you negotiate. It's just like, some tips and tricks, not everything, of course, but just some basics.
Just one more thing, which for us, I'm not from the influencer marketing team, but I did witness some really interesting trends that we had a year or two ago. I think it's really worth using some social listening tools to find those organic videos that maybe do not explode. Some do explode, some don't, but that are about your brand, or sometimes it's a list of must-know tools. Sometimes it's a specific. So we had this trend of I hired on Fiverr, 5 different price points, and it became a whole type of video that was created then for other platforms as well. So I think using social listening tools to find those organic ones, and then it started as something authentic, so there must be an interesting way to collaborate with such a creator.
I want to add something from my experience. So at Piggy, we work with influencers, but in a very integrated way. What do I mean by that? We do pay them. So, they are actually doing something commercial, but we're integrating with their offering. I'll give an example. We worked with a few influencers that were guiding their followers to download our app and use it to create something and send it to them. And then they said, for instance, we had a very popular YouTuber, a gamer YouTuber that was running a survey about who is your favorite character in a certain game. And then he said, okay, take that character, use Piggy to create a little presentation, a little story about why this character is the most kick-ass character in the game. And then send it to me, and we'll pick a winner, and we'll invite him to participate in the next movie. So it was very obviously a sponsored thing, but it wasn't just like, the influencer pretending to like our product and present it as if it's his own organic choice. He was saying, we work with this company called Piggy, and we're offering you to do something from this purpose. It wasn't about the endorsement of the influencer. It was about giving their audience an excuse or a reason to download our app and use it. And then for the long run, if they find value in it, they're going to continue and use it. So, I feel like the challenge is to find those integrated programs. They're less scalable than, just connecting with a brand by ticking a box and immediately you get exposure. But I feel like this is the right use of influencers, because we created something that was right for the influencer, it was right for the audience, and it was right for the advertiser, and it wasn't imposed. I hate it. I'm listening, for instance, to what's it called? Pivot, probably the most well-known podcast in the tech industry by Kara Swisher and I forget the other guy's name, Scott Galloway. And two of the most prestige characters in our industry are talking about matters of the hour, and then they stop and they start talking about, and they say, Kara, last night when I got home, I was really hungry, and thank God I found this great website that you can. And I just think this is just like a complete abuse of that person's integrity. I listen to this podcast because I trust him. But if he's going to continue and tell me made-up stories that he was paid to tell, I'm going to, stop trusting him.
I agree with you.
For once. There, look at that. We've made friends on stage. Yeah, no.
Here. I just completely disagree with everything you said, but
Yeah, of course. Like most people, no. If we look at, there's many different ways that companies work with their influencers, right? Everything from branded content to taking, a celebrity or micro-influencer and putting them into their brand campaigns or their performance marketing. Conscious of time, we have 2 questions left. So one will be, maybe Sophia, you can answer this with your experience of some tips and tricks for putting in an influencer into your performance media campaigns in a way that maybe is more balanced than what Shaul's talking about.
Sure. Like you said, we do treat influencer marketing still as performance marketing. We're some of the few, if not the only ones, who do that. It doesn't mean we don't realize the branding effect of influencer marketing. However, we want to set for ourselves very clear and measurable goals. And I will share some tips and tricks. Again, well, the first one might sound a little bit cheesy, but of course you have to have a product that is high quality product. Like Red Shadow Legends allows us to have such form of big investment from month to month. We're talking 7-digit budgets each month for over 3 years on high scale. But again, there are some things that can help every brand work with influencer and make it performance. The first one is important to have very strong CTA, call to action. We make sure that the influencer really says, download from the links below, or even makes this little gesture several times in the video. You want to make sure that the user doesn't just go to the app store and downloads the game or whatever product you have. You want to make sure that he actually follows the flow that you created for him in order to then have this data about the users and optimize later on. Second thing is like the way for them to actually want to download it from the links. It's not only because they want to support the influencer, which is also a good strategy, but also because you give them something extra. For example, you give them in-game loot, some characters, shards, whatnot, something exclusive. The next thing is it's very important to have a balance between this authenticity of an influencer that you touched upon and to have actually them hit some points from your briefs. Like we do send certain briefs to influencer. We never ever recommend somebody to say just read from the list. This is crazy. This will not work. It has to be a native integration. But users understand that it's a sponsored content. Also on YouTube you have like paid integration. So it has to be authentic. The influencer has to believe what he says. However, it has to still hit those points like the CTA, what's new, what we want them to say, updates in the game, whatnot. And also, at this high scale, we want to make sure that the users who watch a lot of influencers on YouTube don't see the same integration over and over again. You want to, some influencers talk about community, some to talk about updates, just to keep it fresh, to keep them interested, to show different aspects of your product. And the next thing is totally, I think the most important thing is optimization is happening every month. You can't just one time optimize, come up with a structure and that's it, and you just go with it. No, it's every month you check what worked, what didn't, what strategy to take, what category worked, subcategory, brief, package, whatnot. You go and you drill it down. Only then you can really work on it. Like, just throwing money will not make it happen. Definitely not.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I have to say we see, especially in the gaming space, it's grown a lot, the use of influencers in their marketing strategy, in performance marketing, and also in brand, by the way, which has become a very big part of gaming as well, which is a whole other panel, so I'll leave it there. But a lot more gaming companies are trying to find a way to incorporate influencers and creators into their activity. So I love having a panel like this where it's such strong opinions and diverse, and it's amazing. I love the energy. So the last thing we're going to talk about is, do you have any success story or maybe failure that you'd like to share with everyone around collaborating with a creator, something you thought would work that didn't work, or... Ma? Yes? Ronnie, here you go. Ronnie.
So Lightricks has a lot of failure stories. Like we fail all the time, and we sometimes succeed. I'm not from we have a whole team dedicated to working with creators, and I can tell you what worked for us, and I can also say about one success story that we had. But I think the main thing is remember that when you're working with creators, they create. Okay, so it's very important to keep and give them their artistic freedom to create what they want, because otherwise it's going to look fake and, excuse my French, shit. So we have a product, it's template where creators can create templates for other people to remake, and the best performing ones are when they actually create the template and not Lightricks. When we give them the opportunity to create and put their own thing into it, that's when we see the best results. And also, you know, yes, Lightricks are now working with the Amelia family. Like, they're the most successful TikTok creators. They have like 300 influencers. But it's important to have a mix, to work with big ones, but also with the small one, because they have better engagement rates, for example. So it's good to have a mix of creators that you work with. And I think a great success story is one of our users, Hailey Toot. She has, I think, 20,000 followers, something like that. And she used their tools because she wanted to get into a Nike campaign. She wanted to shoot a Nike campaign. So she kept using our products until she finally nailed that campaign. So it's not even a Lightricks success story with us paying an influencer. We see that as a success because she nailed a Nike campaign using our products. So like, that's a success story we're really proud of. Like, wow, we helped like a no one, but super talented with our apps, and now she photographed and edited Nike's new air commercial because of the content she created in our apps. So that's like a success story for us.
I can also start from the, let's say, not failure but challenge, and then move on to how we decided to make it a success. Basically, coming back to the fact that we are very aggressive in our marketing activity. Imagine, again, the number of influencers we work with on a monthly basis. Not surprisingly enough, we became a meme, okay? We became a part of the whole ecosystem of YouTube. sponsored by Raid Shadow Legends became a huge meme on Reddit, on Discord. People make videos for free about us and make fun of us. Not always funny, but still. And if you see like comments, the positive side of things is right. The comments are like, "Oh, you've been sponsored by Raid Shadow Legends. Now you're a true influencer," or like, "Oh, Raid Shadow Legends is a true sugar daddy of YouTube." So it's like we're doing some good things, but how we took this failure, it's not even a failure. It's like positive and negative, because whenever the campaign is super effective, there's still going to be people who will resent you for that because it's everywhere. So what we decided to do is to admit we understand we're a meme, and we made the creative campaign called Fake Ads. What it means, basically, we filmed 6 ads that talk about non-existent products like gamer bread, gamer oils, battery drainer, things like that. Like, but it was very high quality production, though low cost. And then the influencer would receive this ad. Yeah.
One is producing a new influencer.
That's it.
Like,
That's what's happening. You all attended a panel where I gave birth to a new influencer. And
That would be a big
that's
thing.
a story. That's a success.
Can we have IP rights
That's
for
a
that?
success story right there.
Okay. Sorry. No, it's good. It's okay. It's okay. So coming back to what I was talking about, the fake ads, and the influencer was given a brief. He says, "Oh, we have a new sponsor," and he shows this ad about this interesting product. The user's attention is caught, right? They want to watch it. Like, what is this? And it's also entertaining and it's funny. And then influencer, of course, goes like, "Who am I kidding? Of course, it's Raid Shadow Legends." And like the effect of it was very, very positive, because by doing this, not only we made some entertaining content, the influencer had fun with it, the audience had fun with it, and also we admitted we're with you on this. We understand. We know where we stand. We know our strengths and weaknesses. So that's an example.
So I'm just at the risk of sounding like a broken record, I'll say that it's all about being authentic. I think there's a lot to learn from how celebrity endorsements are managed, because influencers are kind of micro celebrities, or in case of the D'Amelio family, they're no longer micro, they're actually pretty big celebrities. When you find like, when I was at MTV, we did stuff like, for instance, having a celebrity come to a red carpet event with a certain designer dress that he was paid or she was paid to wear. But again, it was authentic. I mean, she did come to this gala event and she wore a dress. So it wasn't like a made-up thing. So it's about finding those alignments that make it, even though it's sponsored, they make it natural, they make it, it makes sense. It's not imposed. And I think that's, that's the best tip.
Thank you. Yeah, you agree again. So thanks you guys so much for sharing all of your insights from your different, very unique perspectives. As you guys see, it's a hot topic with a lot of opinions, and it's only going to continue growing. So I look forward to talking to you guys 5 years from now and seeing who was right. And whoever's right buys everyone a round of drinks, I think. So thank you very much. I don't think we have time for questions. So thank you for coming.